Now that we have all of the pieces of the puzzle together for this Lake Tanganyika tank, let's get it rolling. My name is Remy with Brightwell Aquatics, and welcome back to another video. Do me a favor, if you haven't yet, please subscribe and you can join me on this journey. In the first video of this series, I purchased the aquarium, which is a 60-gallon breeder, the stand, and I aquascaped the rock and sand. I went with some easy Sirius stone to make me look like I knew what I was doing when I aquascaped, and then I'm also using cichlid sand from Carib Sea. The goal of this tank is to be simple and stable, right? I don't want anything too complex. I've got a couple of reef tanks as well, so I want it to fit my lifestyle, and also want to make sure the water chemistry is on point. First, let's go ahead and install the canister filter. I feel like canister filters are great here because they give that space for lots of biological media and the gentle flow, which is perfect for Tanganyika fish. For lighting, I grabbed a used twin star from my buddy Tyler. I still haven't decided on plants for this tank, and if I did get some, they'd have to be super easy, like Java fern or something, but this light will be great. Even if I decide to go plant free, I still feel like this light is gonna give good even spread and coverage throughout the tank. Now I'm gonna prepare the water, so while I'm filling the tank, I'll be adding some of our tools to the initial setup. Like saltwater, we're trying to mimic the water that these fish come from. In this case, to be Lake Tanganyika or the Rift Lakes of Africa. To prepare the water, I'll be using our dechlorinator, Erase CL, which I've been using for years. And also I use for dechlorinating the water for my houseplants. We have a bottle of Erase CL up near the sink, which my wife absolutely loves because it's there all the time. Erase CL handles chlorine and chloramine without adding any polymers or binders that hang around in the system, which is important for long-term stability. If you've been looking for a solid dechlorinator, this is the dechlorinator to have in your toolbox. Next, I'm going to add the proper amount of Rift Lake DKH. This will raise the alkalinity to that 8 to 12 DKH target we're looking for. If you're coming from the saltwater world, you know that alkalinity can get consumed pretty quickly depending on your bio load in the tank. In freshwater, it's a lot more slow and steady. So this is gonna help maintain that pH. Another tool you might want to add to the water is Rift Lake Chemi. This is especially useful if you're starting with RO or very soft tap water. This will adjust the chemistry of purified water so it's more like Lake Malawi and Tanganyika and Victoria. It's going to provide calcium, magnesium, potassium, sodium, and sulfate. Afrobacter Start XLA is going to cycle the aquarium pretty quickly so that we can get fish in here soon. Unfortunately, I don't have any other freshwater tanks in the house right now to pull media from, so I'm gonna be starting from scratch here. If you're new to the hobby, if you're setting up your first freshwater or saltwater tank, you need to cycle the tank before you add livestock. It's a must. Another use for Afrobacter Start XLA is if you do a deep clean, maybe you had an emergency situation, you had to do a big water change or replace rocks or sand or whatever. It's just a big change and you want to add those nitrifiers back into the aquarium. You can reestablish that pretty quickly with Afrobacter Start XLA. Now we wait. I'll be testing for ammonia levels daily to make sure that we're through the cycle before I add any fish. And if you can believe it, the only fish that I have on my list right now that is a must are shell dwellers of some kind. Multis are good. I know that there's a lot of other shell dwellers out there that maybe are a little more colorful, but shell dwellers are definitely on my list. And then, you know, you get all these conflicting reports of what works well with what. So I'd love to hear your feedback on that. What are good fish that would be good in a tank that's 60 gallons, 4 feet long, that would play nice with shell dwellers? Leave your suggestions in the comments below. As always, any tool that you saw me use in this video will be linked in the description for more information. You can also find Brightwell Aquatics tools at your local fish store or your favorite online retailer. And before you go, make sure to follow along on this journey and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.